Good afternoon. It's Barbara, the East Coast Dragon Lady, coming to you again with another episode of Real Talk. I have something on my mind, but the reason I wanted to come on, there's several reasons. So I was scrolling through Facebook, almost doom scrolling, and I'm like, I have to stop doing this because it was also making me anxious. And I came across a post, which I haven't seen too many, that today it's Hump Day, but apparently it's Earth Day. And I was like, oh, that's why I got the message I did. So I'm writing a chapter in a book, which I've also put out there. And I've got a bit of writer's block. And then I got a channeled message from the dragons, and they were mentioning Mother Gaia. And I was sort of wondering why that came up. And then I found, oh, it's Earth Day. So that was also what prompted me to come on and do another Real Talk, which will probably be a short video. But I realised, I also have to say, I had another one of those wake up early. I think it was like 4 o'clock this morning. Could have even been before 4. I tried not to wake up, but I was awake. And I had another one of those, repeat my thoughts running around my head. Part of it was about, am I prepared? And I say, am I prepared? Is my family prepared for a disaster? And I think I've mentioned before that, I don't watch the mainline news. I try not to get myself too caught up in all the disaster, all of that stuff, but there's still part of me that says, am I prepared? Are we prepared enough? And I'm here in the northeast of the United States, and I've jokingly said, we're not even prepared for a hurricane. And I don't feel I'm prepared that if we lost power, if the grid goes down, any of that stuff, I just don't feel that I'm prepared. I have some things. I don't think and that was what was going through my head this morning, was I'm not prepared. I don't feel prepared. And if I'm not feeling prepared, that's what's driving my anxiety. So I then realized, and it may be that I'm not looking in the right place, I haven't seen any women talking about disaster preparation. And I don't know why. There's a lot of men out there talking about, what's going on politically, what's going on with the war, all these other things. But I haven't really come across, and if you have, please put it in the comments, or, you can connect with me through my email, which is eastcoastdragonlady@gmail.com, or on my Facebook. I'm going to post this on Facebook as well. So I also was looking at, there are lots of emergency preparedness kits. What kept coming to me, and what I've eventually satisfied, I hope, is the fact that we can't do anything if we haven't got water, if we don't have a water source. So, one of the things I know, and just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I don't understand this stuff, like if the grid goes down, whether it would be for 24 hours, 48 hours, whether it's a natural disaster, if we lose power, nothing works, which means no sewage, no water is coming out of our taps. It doesn't matter how much bottled water, none of us can prepare with enough bottled water or containers of water or whatever. Because also, if you got it, you need to, change it out every 6 months because it's got to be fresh. So, we don't want to waste. We also know that there's a possibility of, supplies getting less because of the canal being blocked and shipments not getting here or having to go the long way around. So apparently they can get here, but they have to go longer, which is bigger cost, which will be passed on to us, the consumers. As yet, I haven't seen too many things that we can't access. But I think that's just a matter of time. And gas prices, they're sort of up and down each day. So I decided that after I I was going to buy something online, and then my bank decided they didn't like that purchase. So this morning I went on to good old Amazon and found some things that I think will satisfy me of feeling prepared. I'm sure none of us are going to be prepared. If this ever happened, none of us are going to be prepared, but at least be prepared for things like if we can find a source of water that we can purify. So water purification. I also found some Mylar blankets, emergency blankets, because again, we get so used to, if it's cold, we can get warm in the house. But if it's in the winter that we lose power, there's going to be no source, right? Unless it's a fire. And I live in a condo, so, unless it's dire, we'll be outside actually burning things, going to be limited. So I just wondered how prepared you feel. I've also got some dry food that I have stocked up. I actually bought things like, which again, if you're not thinking, I've got a hand can opener, because if you've got an electric one, everything, all my stuff's electric. A hand can opener. I've got some flashlights, batteries, the head flashlights, some small ones. I've actually got a small power pack, which is solar run, that you can actually charge things off of, and it's got a light on it as well. So those sort of things. I don't have a radio, and I'm contemplating whether that's the next thing I could buy, because the only way we're going to get any updates if there is a complete power outage is the shortwave radio, which of course, the crank radios. So I'm of the generation that remembers we had radios, and they weren't plugged into the wall. Or they were plugged into the wall. We didn't really have batteries, and there wasn't solar power. So I know there's newer ones of those. So I just thought I would come on and say, as women, and also this applies to men, especially if you're a single person or you don't have family. I mean, my family lives with me, and we're all contained. My son works about 2 miles away. If I go to work, I'm 45 minutes away. So we're, within an area. My other son doesn't work. So, we're not far away. Whereas, my brother is in England. And I think I mentioned that I reached out to him the other day because I was hearing things about this is what I heard on a YouTube or on a Facebook, that Europe, which includes England, was being told to prepare for war. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to contact my brother. And I'm like, so what's going on? Is this what you're hearing? And he said, stop worrying. It's not going to happen. And I'm like, no, but I'm trying to get news not from the United States. And then I'm being told. So both my older son and my brother said, stop worrying. And I'm like, well, I don't want to worry, but I want to be prepared. And as I've said, I joke and say, well, I'm not even prepared for hurricanes, so I'm not going to be prepared for anything else. So that is no excuse. I don't think it's an excuse. You can't say, oh, well, I didn't know. Yes, we know. And we know it's possible. We hope it doesn't happen. So what is the saying? Prepare for the worst and it's prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Oh, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you have any tips or you come across anything that you think is good or other things that I've got some rice, I've got some dried beans, I've got a cupboard with, I haven't got any sort of thing. Well, actually, I bought some cans of pasta, like dinners, which don't expire for a few years, because you've got to watch those as well, because it's no good having stuff that's gone off. So I will check on that. But I call it my go bag, but it's going to become my go box soon. So it's going to get bigger, but I'm prepared. I'm prepared-ish. I don't think I don't have enough places to stock things. But I just wanted to share this because it's also causing me anxiety, and I'm not an anxious person. So I just wanted to share that I really think that it's something to think about. All right. And also know where your loved ones are. I know a lot of you have family throughout the country, but it's also knowing, coming up with a plan. Like, what would you do if you've got family in other states? Is there going to be somewhere you would meet? Remember, if we don't have gas, we don't have power, we're not going to have gas, and we might not have gas anyway, because it's not always going to. I just think we're going to run out of gas. I mean, that's my feeling. We're going to run out of gas, which will then cause power outages. So I hope I'm not right, but that's what's driving my anxiety today. So I hope that, and it's also here in the Northeast. We thought we had spring. We had a full spring. We had a full start. And here I am back in a long shirt, and I'm feeling cold because I've got sandals on. And usually my philosophy is once I put sandals on, I'm not going back into shoes, but I think I'm going to have to. So happy hump day, happy Earth Day, and get yourself prepared is what I'm going to say. Take care. Back soon.